Action!
We're on the shores of Wesley Lake between Asbury Park and Ocean Grove. I'm with Gail Rosewater, who is the chair of the Wesley Lake Commission, the organization that helps keep track of the lake and takes care of it. Gail, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Give us a little background of the lake and what your commission is charged with doing.
The lake was a supreme recreational park-like part of both Neptune and Ocean Grove and Asbury Park for many, many years. And then in the 1960s, when funding dried up to really care for the lake, we saw the recreational use of the lake deteriorate. And around 1988, some 25 years later, some citizens of both Asbury and Neptune noticed that the walls were crumbling, the quality of the water was horrid, and they formed the Wesley Lake Commission to advise the municipalities on how they could begin to take care of it before it was no longer something that the citizens and visitors could enjoy. So the Wesley Lake Commission is formed in 1988, and we are charged with watching over the quality of the water in the lake. That is our formal responsibility. However, that includes so much more. It includes the stormwater that comes from acres and acres beyond the actual lake, all the way to Route 35 and 33. So one of our biggest concerns, of course, is as we watch over the quality of water, is the stormwater and how it continues to deteriorate the quality of the water and therefore our oceans. And we can't forget that these coastal lakes flow into our oceans and that we must take care of them to take care of our entire environment.
And how big a job is that? Now, how do you handle the care and treatment of the lake?
Well, we're doing a number of different initiatives now to try to have an impact on water quality. One of our biggest initiatives is looking at Geese Control, because as the geese populate the lake and the banks of the lake, we have a lot of goose poop in the lake, which affects the balance of the chemicals, which doesn't provide enough oxygen, and therefore wildlife can't flourish. So we put in lights down the center of the lake, which encourage the geese to go elsewhere to sleep at night, because geese have very thin eyelids and the lights don't allow them to sleep. We are also looking at putting a very environmentally safe product on the grass around the lake called Rejexit. It's a grape extract. It won't hurt dogs or people. We are also employing a dog chaser and egg addler between the two municipalities, so that we will begin during the time that the geese begin to form their nests. That would be January, February. We will start that, but the municipalities are supporting us in that and putting a contract together. So it's a multi-pronged approach for Geese Control. We also have a partnership, as most of the coastal lakes do in right around here, with Monmouth University. We test the quality of the water every week to make sure that it has the right balance of pH and oxygen. And I actually do that myself, as well as Ed Lacombe, who's on the commission, and some local residents that assist. And we send the data sheet to Monmouth University every week. Wesley Lake isn't the worst lake and it's not the best lake. But it's kind of right in the middle in terms of the quality of the water. We're looking into dredging the lake. Again, it all comes down to pH and oxygen. If you have too much silt in the lake from all the stormwater that comes, it washes all that garbage, all those chemicals into the lake, then you don't, again, have the right ecological balance, and the wildlife is affected, as well as the water looks dark brown all the time. It's also an aesthetic thing for dredging, but most important, it's about the ecological balance. We really need the citizens of both Neptune and Asbury Park to help us keep the lake clean. Today, as I took my morning walk, I noticed that there is so many floatables on the western end. That means that garbage that's along and around the lake has blew into the lake during the storm, as well as through the pipes. When all that water was raining down and flowing through the pipes, it brought some floatables. Those are styrofoam and plastic bottles, and it's quite ugly right now down at the western end. So people need to make sure their garbage is put in the correct receptacles, and our DPW in Asbury Park brought us all new garbage cans last spring. We have cleanup days every spring and every fall. Wesley Lake will have one in the spring. So one of the things that we find along the lake the most is cigarette butts, and we ask people to please put them in the proper containers. We had thousands and thousands of cigarette butts that we picked up last time. We're asking people to be very conscious of the fact that once the election is over, they need to take those political signs down, because they tend to leave them up and they blow into the lake, as well as masks. We have started finding the disposable masks in the lake. So please make sure you put, everything in the lake. The other thing we ask is, please don't feed the wildlife. Bread and other human food is not good for them, and it attracts them. And we already have too many geese here, which is affecting, again, the quality of the water. So please, if you're going to feed the wildlife, you should feed them seeds, bird seed, that type of thing. Bread just clogs up their digestive system. It doesn't make them feel good. And it encourages them to come back to a place that we really want them to migrate from.
How is your commission financed?
Well, we work in partnership with Friends and Citizens of Wesley Lake, which is a private not-for-profit. They do a phenomenal job, and if there's fundraising to be done, it's really through them. They have a Facebook page, so you can find out more information. And both municipalities, Neptune and Asbury Park, are responsible for 50% of the contracts and repairs that we need for the lake. And we do pondweed treatment every spring so that it doesn't get overgrown with pondweed. They each pay 50%. The contract for the geese, the dog chaser for the geese, they each pay 50%. And one of our new initiatives is an analysis of the footbridges. They're each going to pay 50% for that analysis. We need to make sure those footbridges, which have had no maintenance for as long as any of us can tell, perhaps since they were built, they each will pay 50% of the repairs. So the commission does not have a lot of money, although the commission did pay for the lights down the middle of the lake, and we're going to pay for the product, the grape extract product that's going to go on the grass to keep the geese away. But we really count on the municipalities to fund any major projects. And Friends and Citizens of Wesley Lake, they are responsible for putting up all the educational signs that are around the lake, telling people about what is a watershed, where it helps you understand stormwater management, what are the different birds that you might see around here, how important it is to pick up your dog poop, how important it is not to feed the wildlife. So again, we work in partnership with them. Also, the Environmental Shade Tree Commission is building gardens on the Asbury side, up and down the lake. They're beautiful gardens, so that comes out of their budget. And we've worked together with other groups. The planning board has taken on stormwater management as one of their concerns in looking at when they approve new developments, because Lake Avenue has flooded. So we don't have a specific budget that can fund all of this, we do have to count on the municipalities, and we thank the municipalities and the DPWs for both towns are just exceptional and do so much to help keep this lake clean. Doug McQueen, one of our commission members, who is extremely knowledgeable about planning and stormwater and pretty much everything about the lake, put together a 3 to 5 year plan at the request of the city manager of Asbury Park. The commission approved that plan and submitted it to both municipalities. The plan says what we're going to do next year, what we're going to do the following year in a 3 to 5 year span with approximate budget amounts assigned. And it includes most of the things that I've already talked about. It starts with the Geese Control and the bridge analysis to see if the bridges are okay. It follows up the following year with any repairs that might need to be done to the bridges. Eventually, we look into dredging and working on the wall around the lake, which you can see is deteriorating in some places if you spend time here. It also includes putting in a public dock so that people could start having actual access to the water. And one of the other elements in this 3 to 5 year plan is that Deal Lake Commission wrote a grant called a 319H grant to have impact on water quality for all 3 lakes. And they got the grant a couple of years ago, and that grant is going to allow us to work on rain gardens around the lake. And what needs to happen is when it rains, the water needs to filter through a rain garden or the ground. And cement or pavement keeps it from going into the ground, and it runs right into the lake. But if it goes into a rain garden or a tree box or a bioswale, then it goes through the ground, somehow gets filtered out, is cleaner when it actually gets into the lake. So that 319H grant that Deal Lake Commission wrote for all 3 lakes is going to allow us to perhaps have floating islands, more rain gardens, refurbish the existing rain garden, and that's really important, again, for the ecological balance.
Right now we're at the dock of the Asbury Park pedal boats, which operate during the summer. How for maybe 10 years now, how has this project worked out for the popularity of the lake?
I think that the swan boats are visually extremely significant and recreationally. It's really the only, besides biking and walking, the only recreational element of this lake. And people come from all over to ride these swan boats. They're beautiful, they're fun, and many of us were just so happy when the city of Asbury Park allowed this vendor to put up the dock and bring the boats to the lake. And it's part of our history. I mean, we had those huge swan boats down at the other end of the lake that rode on the tracks. I'm sure so many people have seen the beautiful historical pictures. So this brings part of the history back, and I think it makes people feel really warm and loving towards the lake, and I think that's what's important.
We're here with Linda Acapinci. She's the co-owner and the manager of the Asbury Park pedal boats, and we want to talk about the new season that you're ready to go for 2021 after a slower year last year.
Oh, definitely. Last year we didn't open up until like the middle of June, so it's great that we're able to be here for Easter for everybody and start the season off like we should have last year. We will be getting another boat, a new boat. So that's a big surprise. We'll let you come by so you can see what that will be. But we're just ready to get started. We're going to up our employees, and we're going to get more staff because we hopefully will make up for last year and be busier this year. We have 10 boats to choose from. Each boat can fit 2 adults and a child, or adult and 2 kids, or 2 people. It's a half-hour ride, and it's only $20. Nobody gets on the dock unless they have a life jacket on, which we provide. And we'll let you know everything you need to know about the boat, how to run the boat, and we're going to help you on and off your boat. So we're very happy that we pride ourselves on our safety here at the boats. So about 60 years ago, these boats were on the water. So I get a lot of people that visit me that did this as kids, and now they're bringing their grandkids here, so they're reliving their childhood. So it's very exciting for everybody. It's not just the pedal boat business. It's actually a lot of fun to meet so many wonderful people.
So if you're using the lake or want to use the lake or visit it, make sure that you contribute by taking care of the garbage and walking your dog properly and not feeding the wildlife, and using our vendor. If you want to donate to to Wesley Lake, you need to do it through Friends and Citizens of Wesley Lake. And again, I would go on the Facebook page and follow them. And we have GoFundMe, or they have GoFundMe projects periodically. But if you want specific information, call either municipality and say, please put me in touch with the Wesley Lake Commission, and they'll pass that on to me, and I will certainly call you or email you, whichever you prefer. And that's happened in the past, and I do get back to people. So.
Cut!